Hey, it's Peter Beatty, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Video Revolver podcast. In this episode, we're going to be interviewing a man who goes by the name of Bertram Heath Sr. Bertram Heath Sr. is a video marketer like myself who also offers training on how to create awesome web videos. And the reason why I wanted to bring Bertram on the show is because he has his own style and his own way of going about creating videos. Even though he teaches stuff that is very similar to the stuff that I teach on VideoRevolver.com, he has his own style, and I think it's very important that we all get everyone's view when it comes to creating videos. Everyone has their own way to go about doing things, their own way about editing videos, their own cameras that they prefer, their own ways of writing scripts for their videos, etc. So that's why I wanted to bring this guy on the show. He has an awesome course called The Video Slayer, which is a massive video training. I think it's over 200 training videos on creating amazing web videos that sell more of your own stuff or your client's stuff. Now, before you head over to his site, make sure you listen to this entire episode because he's going to give away a lot of awesome, valuable information here in this interview on how he makes his videos, how he got started in this business, how he started with offline marketing, eventually started teaching others about video and why he did that. He's going to talk about the different equipment that he uses, and also at the end there's a special offer for our Video Revolver listeners who want to take advantage of Bertram's training over at thevideoslayer.com, where you can get it at a huge discount. So make sure you stay to the end of the episode to hear about how to get access to that special discount. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Now, if you're watching this video, I want to point out one thing here. If you're listening to this on iTunes, obviously you're not going to see the video version, but if you're watching this on YouTube or on the Video Revolver blog, and you're watching the video version, I want to apologize ahead of time for the technical difficulties that we had. As you know, this is only the second episode where I'm actually recording this podcast as a video, so I'm still getting used to things, and I'm still getting used to the software that I'm using over here. And what happened is our footage actually recorded great, but Bertram's face actually ended up getting cut off in his portion of the video. So I apologize for that little technical glitch, but the content itself is amazing, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it. And I hope you can look past our little technical glitch here, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That was totally my fault. I hope you enjoy the episode, and of course, let me know what you think in the comments below here on the blog. Hey, it's Peter Beatty with VideoRevolver.com, and today I've got a guest on the show who specializes in teaching other internet marketers how to produce amazing web videos, and his name is Bertram Heath Sr. Welcome to the show, Bertram.
Thank you, Peter. Nice to be here.
Cool, nice to have you. So we've been talking, and I noticed you do a lot of stuff. You said you used to be a plumber, but now you sell information products online, teaching other people how to use web video to, basically sell their products and services online. Is that correct? Can you start off by telling people just a little introduction of what you do?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I was a plumber for 23 years, and I was really not computer savvy at all. So I had a rough time getting started, but once I started watching some videos online and seeing how things were done online, I was just so intrigued by it. And, coming from a traditional blue-collar background, it's like, if you build something, you can only sell it once, and you got to take some of that profit and go buy some more material and build it again, right?
Yeah.
But with digital products, what really lit a fire under me was that I could build something once, and I can literally sell it an infinite number of times, and it's still there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that too.
Yeah, it's almost not even believable that it's possible to do that. And I'm not to date myself, but I'm quite possibly twice your age. So to me, it's even more amazing, right?
Oh, you don't look it.
Oh, thanks. But it's very cool. I got extremely excited about it early on. So I think that's what kept me going through the struggles. But I have to say, video now, I got started 4 years ago. Video now is even easier, than it was then. And
Definitely.
the possibilities are just endless. So I got really excited about it. I started buying every product and every training membership I could possibly find and join that had to do with video, and I just started learning things and doing things. And like everybody, I did everything the hard way the first time, and my videos were freaking horrible. But my 6-year-old wouldn't admit to making the first video I made.
Yeah,
But
I can.
cool. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the same here. I can relate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's rough, but you got to start somewhere, and that's what I tell everybody. Don't worry about how bad it looks, because it can't be worse than mine, and even if it was, you don't have to show it to anybody until you decide it's good enough.
Right.
Oh, and that's what held me back in the beginning, is I was making these videos, and really the first 2 or 3 I made, I thought, I just can't do this. I'm not going to make any more videos because I'm wasting all this time. It would literally take me 4 days to make a 30-second video that made me want to vomit. It was that bad when it was done. And I'm like, I'm just never going to get better. And then I said, wait a minute, you know what? It doesn't matter how long it takes. I have to keep trying, because nobody's going to see it until I decide they can see it.
Right.
And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? It still sucks, but I got to get it out there.
Yeah.
I just can't, I can't waste any more time. You can only learn so long before you have to do. And if you don't do, then you don't, get better. You don't make money. Exactly. And you don't start building your business and advancing. So, yeah, it was a rough start, but I finally got to the point where I was brave enough to put my voice on. Believe it or not, my first videos, wouldn't even put my voice on the video. Slideshows and music and text.
Oh yeah. I think we've all done that.
And it works. It does work. And when I started seeing results, I said, wait a minute. If I go one step further and put my voice on these things, maybe I'll do even better. And I did. And then I started getting rave reviews from people saying they loved my voice, and I was like, okay, so this is good. I didn't get shot down too bad, right?
Yeah.
And then I kept going. And then I put my face on camera, and then that worked out okay. I probably scared a few people, but it happens. But I like to tell everybody I have a radio face for radio, because people say I have a voice for radio, and I say, well, I have a face for radio and I have a voice for silent screen. But hey, we can all do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I mean, some of the best looking people, some of the people with the nicest voices are just as self-conscious as any of us,
Right.
So, and they're superstars. Some of them, you wouldn't know it to watch them present. I know James Wedmore says he's like a real introvert. He doesn't really, he likes to be private. He doesn't like to be.
Yeah, that's me too. I don't like being, I don't like talking to people in person. So.
Right. There you go. So it's not just me.
Right.
And so I try to tell everybody the same thing when you're first getting started, man. Just do it. You'd be surprised how open people are, and how much everybody has their own audience. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
I mean, you're into bikes. You got your own generation, your own people who are interested in things that you were interested in,
right.
And they're gonna follow you no matter what. Unless you really try to screw it up, you can't. There's going to be people who love you. There's going to be people who hate you. And I prefer to have nobody in between. If you love me, you're going to follow me. You're going to learn from me. You're going to buy my products. We're going to communicate. That's great. If you hate me, that's fine. You'll go find somebody else you love.
Exactly.
But if you're in the middle of the road, you're not going to go anywhere. So I'd rather I always say, I try to make people love me or hate me. I don't want to be anything in between, and I don't want an audience that's standing on the line, because they're not going to go anywhere.
Right. That's a good piece of advice there. It's the takeaway there is just to be yourself, and you're going to naturally attract people who are attracted to your personality, basically. And you want
exactly. Yeah.
Naturally, you're going to appeal to those people anyways. So, and naturally, some people are going to hate you, and that's just the name of the game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you probably already know this, but when you start to get those haters and those hate comments, and that's when you're really pushing buttons. That's when you're making moves. Yeah. You're getting through to people, and that's where you want to be, really.
Yeah, people are talking about you. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes negative feedback is better than positive feedback as far as getting attention.
Yeah.
I don't try to do it, but sometimes I'm tempted.
Yeah. That's funny. Funny we talk about this. I just had a situation today actually where a customer sent me some nasty emails, and I have this new policy where if someone sends me a nasty email, immediately they get a refund, and they get a refund and they get off my mailing list, and I just don't want to do business with them. And when you do something like that, people really don't know how to respond to it.
That's right.
But it's just like, is it really worth the time and energy to argue with that person and deal with someone who is unreasonable? And to me, it's really not.
No.
I think it's easier just to, part ways and go on your way and give them their money back.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm always quick to give people a refund. And I just find that it goes one of two ways. Like you said, people either will get angry about it, like, I gave you a hard time or, whatever, and you give me a refund and kick me out, or if people ask for a refund or they complain too much, I'll just give them a refund. And sometimes if they're not nasty, I'll let them continue to have access in case they change their mind, because it's actually happened to me where I've had people ask for a refund and say, oh, this isn't, whatever, or I didn't get access in the first 30 seconds. You know how people are. Yeah. It's all instant gratification. We're all guilty of it, right?
Right.
But, they don't get access in the first 30 seconds and they send you a nasty email because they're having a bad day. Doesn't mean they're bad people, but I'll give them a refund and then say, you know what, I'm gonna let you continue to have access for 7 days in case you change your mind. Take a look at the content and, I got you access. Here it is. Yeah. And then I'll get an email back saying, wow, that's the best customer service experience I've had. And, I really, I apologize. I didn't know, Exactly. So it can go either way. It can work in your favor for sure. And especially for people who aren't really bitter, angry, bad people.
Yeah, most of the time people just want to be heard and want to get their opinions. They want to know that you're actually reading their emails and there's someone actually on the other end. And like you said, if you respond in a nice manner, most people will come back and be like, "Wow, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to sound like a jerk, or I wasn't trying to be rude. I just wanted some help." So
exactly, yep.
So when you got started, let's go back a little bit here. When you started making, what kind of videos were you making in the beginning? Were these for affiliate products? Like, what were you actually making videos for?
Oh, yeah, actually, originally, like, the transition between plumbing and online was kind of, like I said, it was a rough start. I got started on eBay and I quickly realized that just wasn't for me. So I started looking around at social media and video because that's what everybody was doing and everybody was talking about. Yeah. But the first, so I started dabbling or not dabbling even. I was just learning internet marketing. I was just starting to read up on it and figure out what it was all about. And then I came across Mike Koenig's video from way back, some little video training how to make video infomercials for the web and stuff. And so I signed up on his list, and I ended up buying Main Street marketing machines and doing offline. And I had really good success with video with offline. The problem I had was that a lot of the businesses that I chose to work with, because they were easy to get, were also really, really stressful and time consuming for me. Yeah. Now the money was good, but I knew I wanted to make digital products. I wanted to teach people how to do what I learned because, I had to buy so many products, and I'm sure you went through the same thing. Learning how to do video. I don't come from a video background, at all. I don't have any schooling in it at all. I've just learned it all basically by, learning and doing.
Making mistakes and
trial and error, there's nothing like hands-on. School of Hard Knocks will get you there, right?
Right.
So, and you learn how to get through issues that people aren't even teaching. So then when I can turn around and teach that, I feel like I'm doing people a big service because I don't just show how to do things. I show the mistakes I make too as I do it and how to get through that so that people can learn how to troubleshoot themselves and figure out how to fix their own problems as they go.
Right. Real world problems, basically.
Yeah, real world stuff. I mean, we're all going to run into it. Why not help people get through it?
Yeah.
So that's my method of teaching. But so I had a start in the offline niche, and then I started, creating small video products and, video related training products. Yeah. And eventually I got to the point where I let my offline clients drop off, contracts run out. I wouldn't go after anymore. Yeah. And I'm actually going to start easing back into offline this year, because in my local area, it's really rural, and this county the county I live in is really not well off. We had a big flood a couple years ago that took out a lot of houses and businesses, and we're still, year and a half later, we're only at like 33% occupancy rate. So oh, wow. I want to help my local area by helping businesses,
Mm-hmm. That's kind of similar to my story. I started out, with strictly offline and did a lot of things wrong, and soon found out that offline is not as easy as everyone was saying. There's a lot more work involved. Once you get those clients, keeping them happy and keeping new clients coming in. So you started off with you came across Mike Koenig's, and you bought his training on local marketing. So you got started in local marketing, but you kind of started. You wanted to get away from offline and get into start teaching video marketing. So then what did you start creating courses? Is that where you came into the idea for the Video Slayer?
Yeah, actually, I the funny thing is, like, you purchase products that tell you how to create products or how to create videos or whatever. So I had a product that I was reading, and it was about, having your own product and how important that is. And I already wanted to go there. Yep. So it was actually about using PLR. So what I did was I purchased a domain name for a PLR product that I purchased that was called Video Marketing for Newbies. You probably heard of it. It's been around for a while.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
So, yeah, well, it was around before I bought it. What amazed me, though, was that nobody bought the .com. So right. I went and bought videomarketingfornewbies.com. Yeah, and I was like, wow, really? That's available? Okay, I'll take it. So then when I put the PLR product up there, I thought, well, okay, but, I'm getting pretty good at this video thing, so I need to make my own sales video for it. And when I did that, I realized that, hey, wait a minute, I'm putting my name on this, not my face, but my voice was on it. And I've got to make it mine. So I went through the product and I recreated every video in the product and added to it. Yep. Some things that I thought were missing. I think it had like 12 videos. I ended up with 19 videos and a 58-page ebook.
Oh, cool.
And I sold it for $17. And I did okay, except it was a little rough because I didn't know anything about traffic yet. I didn't know anything about affiliates. I just thought, hey, I'll build this and people will buy it, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, good luck with that. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, right?
Yeah.
So I did sell it for a while. I did end up getting some traffic to it, and then I decided at that point that I was going to use that, I think, for probably 6 months. And then I decided I was going to build a membership site, so I decided I'd use that product as a giveaway to get people to like my Facebook page. And that worked out pretty well, and then I just kept building from there, and I created several other products after that, and it eventually built up to the Video Slayer membership site, which we originally launched a little over a year ago, and then I just relaunched it again a couple months ago, so okay. Beginning of this year.
All right, so you originally launched that on the Warrior Forum, right? Then now
yeah.
You sell it on ClickBank? Do you sell it on ClickBank now?
Nope. No, it's in the JVZoo marketplace, but okay, we originally launched it as a WSO for $197, and it actually did better than everybody told us it would do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody was saying, and I can see their point. Everybody was telling me, all the marketers I knew were saying, hey, look, it's your first product, your first WSO. There's no way you're going to get $197 for it. And I thought, well, I get that, but I see, not to mention any names, but I see some big guru training products out there for $2,000 right. that have about a third of the training content that I have. And granted, I don't have the years of video experience that they have, but it's all good, relative, usable information. There's no, there's no fluff. There's no false information in there. There's no tricks, no games. Just teaching everything I know. Yeah. And there's a lot of it. And 220 videos now, and I'm still adding to it, and I'm still updating, and I'm,
Yeah, I'm looking at the page right now. There's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, I remember when it first came out. I actually saw it on the Warrior Forum. It's funny you mentioned the price, because that was one of the first things that stood out to me. And I was like,
Right.
wow, is this guy really selling this for? I thought it was $297, but it must have been. I must have been wrong. I remember seeing it. I was like, wow, is this guy really able to sell it for this price? And I saw that you were getting sales, and I was like, oh, good for him. It looked like a good training. So, you cover basically, script writing, audio. You want to talk a little bit about this product specifically, and what some different stuff that you talk about in it. What kind of videos you talk about creating? Are they basically sales videos? Or are you talking like live action footage videos?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because what I tried to do, and now I know I could have done a few things a little bit differently, so that's why I'm still working with that site. But I tried to lay it out, from step one. That's why it goes into script writing. But in the introduction video, I lay out, what each module is going to cover. So I try to teach things like script writing, and storyboarding, and audio, and lighting, and screencasts, and different software that you can use for each type of video.
Yep.
But there's training in there on how to create almost every type of video I could squeeze in there.
Yep.
Except for some of the newer stuff that I'm working on getting in there now, which is like Video Scribe, hand-drawn videos,
Yep.
Prezi videos. There's a few other things that are going to go in there this year. But there's pretty much a little bit of everything. There's sales videos, there's squeeze page videos, there's launch videos, there's live video, how to shoot green screen video, how to edit green screen video, how to add effects with editing. The only thing I don't cover in detail is cameras and equipment, because there's just so much of it. I cover the basic types of cameras, so people can have
what I do too, yeah.
Yeah, because they need to know what the differences are in the type of camera, so they can decide on what type they need. But I mean, there's probably tens of thousands of cameras to choose from. So
right, and some of us might even be able to use our our smartphones. I mean, I try to use this as much as I can.
Yeah.
So just about the course, because I know a lot of people watching this are gonna want to check it out. So. And they're going to be, one of the questions they're going to ask is, how is this different than any of my training? And I noticed, a lot of the stuff that you cover is pretty similar to the topics that I cover, but I think it's still going to be worth for people to check out, because you get the angle from two different people. You know what I mean? Like, say if someone bought a product, my video marketing secrets course, for example, covers some stuff that you cover in here, but I think it's also going to be worth people to check out this product as well, because you go about things in a different way than I do. You probably have different techniques, and it's just nice to get that different side of the story. So not just because someone might have bought my product doesn't mean they're not going to get something new from yours. Basically, the point I wanted to put across there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you say that, because I don't have a problem, telling people that I've purchased your products. I like your training products,
cool.
Right? But at the same time, I can also tell you, and I can almost guarantee that you've heard the same thing. I've had people tell me that they've purchased the Video Boss, and then purchased the Video Slayer. In fact, I have half a dozen people who I communicate with on a regular basis who are Video Slayer students, who tell me, that the Video Boss wasn't all they thought it would be, or they had trouble learning certain parts of it because there was too much technical stuff.
Oh, really?
So you're right. Everybody has a different training, a different training style, a different teaching style.
Different way of doing things.
Yeah, a different way of explaining things, a different way of putting things in. As you know, especially when it comes to editing, there's multiple ways you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Editing. So you might teach how to do something one way that you think is easier, and I might teach how to do that same thing a totally different way that I find easier.
Yep.
So yeah, there's always benefits to, and that's why I purchase products still. I feel like there's nothing I can't do with video right now, but I still purchase new products because I like to get new angles on things and new ideas and keep up with the times. Like, that's what we do.
Yeah, see what other people are doing. I recently picked up Video Traffic Academy from James Wedmore because I wanted to see, what his techniques were for specifically on building an audience on YouTube, because that was something that I hadn't really taught too much about. So, like you said, just because one course might cover one topic doesn't mean you're going to learn something new in another course on the same topic offered by someone else.
Exactly. I just picked up Joey Zotto's Video Academy video. I think it was called the Video Academy. But yeah, and he's got some. He uses a DSLR camera. I don't use a DSLR camera. I don't own one. I don't have a desire to buy one. But I still got some really good tips in there in his editing section. So it was a good investment for me. Yeah.
Cool. So you want to talk a little bit about the specific equipment that you use? Maybe give some tips on like what equipment you use and what someone might want to consider investing in. If they're just getting started with video. Like I know you have some lights in the background there, and you showed me your ceiling. I don't know if you wanted to show the viewers how you have your lights mounted, and maybe just talk about the setup you use.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Because what happened was I had, and people on the call don't realize this. I'll say it again, but we had a bad flood in the county that I live in a couple of years ago, and so I had a big place. And after the flood, I needed a place to record video. So I have a friend up on a mountain right outside of town, and I was renting a back room in her house, and it was a big room. And so then when we got into the house we're in now, I didn't have a room big enough, and I was worried about that. I'm like, gee, should I maybe just wait until we find the right place, But this room is only 8 feet wide, but it's like 14 feet long or 15 feet long. So it's long enough to shoot video with the green screen, but it wasn't wide enough to get my lights out of the shot. So let me just move my camera here. So I put my lights, my softbox lights, the key light and the fill light, up on the ceiling.
Okay. I can see that pipe hanger now.
Yeah, up on the beam. So I just used, a pipe hanger. I was a plumber, so I mean that came naturally. I figured that out real quick. So and then the green screen on the back wall, and all I did was I just made a couple little brackets and bought a pole and cut it the right length, and I hung my green screen up on the back there, and I can pull it down and throw some weights on the bottom, keep it snug, and it's a piece of cake. And then I've got a couple other lights here. Generally, I use, like for green screen, I usually use a 5-point lighting system. I'll have 2 lights on the green screen, 1 on each side, and then 3 lights on me. You need the key light, the fill light, and the hair light or backlight. Yep. But I don't have that luxury here. I don't have room on the sides. So what I did was above the green screen on the ceiling, I put a wide fluorescent light on the ceiling pointing down in front of the green screen. Yep. And it actually lights it evenly.
Oh, sweet.
I've never seen anybody teach this, but I've never had a need for this myself. So it's kind of one of those things that you just figure out as you go, right?
Yeah.
So I'll probably make a video on my specific setup, because sometimes when people have limited space, it can be a challenge, especially the lighting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those stands take up a lot of space because they have the 3 legs that come out. So you really need to, in order to get them out of the shot, like you said, you need to have a wide enough area.
Yeah, they take up, I think, like a 3-foot span. I mean, these are big lights, so they need to be spread out to keep them stable. Yep. And they do take up space. So that's that. And then I just what I use for cameras, and I'm pretty sure you're the one who I just saw recently using a GoPro.
Yeah, I do use the GoPro for some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going with a GoPro myself. I want to at least try it out. It looks like a great camera, but
yeah, I don't use it for my marketing videos. I basically use it for like my motorcycle videos and
oh, that's where I saw
videos.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on your Facebook page, I think.
Yeah.
That was good. And that makes for a really interesting video too, especially the way I used to ride. And I personally, I was never into the type of bikes you're into. You know, call them rice rockets or crotch rockets or whatever. Yeah. But I like speed. But I used to race. When I was younger. I raced off road, dirt bikes. So.
Oh, cool.
when I was a kid, and then I got into street bikes. But at any rate, yeah, I think the GoPro makes for a really interesting video because you can get so many different action shots. You know, even people talking in the car. Okay, that's interesting. You can use a suction cup, you know, window mount. But generally, for me, most of the people I think that I've attracted, because I don't have that, you know, years of video schooling and video background, offline video and television, like some of these other guys. Joey Zotto's got the school background, and, you know, of course, Andy Jenkins has made Hollywood movies, and then you've got, you know, a few other guys that come from a traditional television background, so they have all this video experience. Yep. They use high-end equipment. Most of the people I find that I've attracted are people that are starting out on a budget. They're either not sure they can afford it, or not sure they can be good enough at it to keep doing it. Yep. So they don't want to spend a ton of money up front, you know, on this big, expensive equipment. So I show ways to build softbox lights. I show ways, yeah. You know, I mean, I've built like handheld camera booms, so you can walk around with your camera in your hand and nobody can see it. It looks like a cameraman is following you around.
Awesome.
So that's a pretty cool effect.
That's cool. That's inside the Video Slayer. Yeah,
I actually have that video on my YouTube channel too. I'll drop you a link to that after. Okay. I've got a lot of good feedback on that because it's like $15, and most people have that stuff hanging around their house.
Yeah, cool.
I think it took me 15 minutes to build it.
I definitely want to check that out personally because I was thinking about doing something very similar, and was going to do some research on it. So I'll check that video out.
Yeah, I think you'll be surprised at how stupidly simple it is, but that's how I think. So. Yeah. You know, if it's easy and it's affordable and anybody can do it, then that's what I want to teach, you know, because not everybody, like I said, not everybody has a big budget or deep pockets to get started. Now, obviously, you know, you upgrade your equipment as you get better, as you know that you're going to continue to do it, which is what I've done. Yep. But I started out with basically nothing. I was using construction lights, and you know, I think I was using a flip cam because it was 4 years ago when they still sold them. But I have two flips, and I have two Kodak. I have the ZI-8 and the ZI-10 Play Touch. Yep. I like both the Kodak cameras the best.
Does the Play Touch, does that have an external mic?
It does. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the ZI-8 myself too.
That's I still like it. It's a great camera.
Yep.
You still use yours?
Yeah, I use it probably for 80% of my videos.
Wow, yeah.
Unless I get my iPhone. It's funny, you know, I started out with an RCA Wonder camera, and that I don't even think that shot HD footage. I think I thought like 640 pixels or something like that. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And you know, we started off with doing that with offline clients, and the videos looked terrible, but we thought they were great, and clients loved them anyways. And eventually, when we started making more money, we upgraded to the Kodak ZI-8, and we got a DSLR now. So, like you said, start off with what you can. It really doesn't matter. And any camera on the market now, anyways, is going to be able to shoot HD footage.
Exactly. I've seen $35 video cameras for little kids that shoot HD.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and they actually get good footage. And the surprising thing to me was that some of those cheaper cameras, they have built-in microphones, of course, which actually get good audio. I was really surprised. It's like $35, $40 camera.
That's crazy. There's no excuse.
No, exactly. It was 2.5 years ago. I bought the Kodak Play Touch. It might have been 3 years now, but that was like $180, right?
Yeah.
And now you can find them for $60 brand new, or $65 on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. Technology changes too fast.
Yeah, it must have a lot to do with all the smartphones coming out with better video cameras, and the flip cams are really going to become, I don't want to say irrelevant, but basically, they probably will be irrelevant within a couple of years. Basically at the rate we're going here with the smartphones.
Yeah, I think the flip's definitely gone, but even the Kodak ZI-8, I mean, that's completely phased out. You don't even hear anybody talking about it anymore,
right?
Which is a shame, because the way I was brought up in a big family. We didn't have a ton of money, and you know, a lot of kids, a lot of needs, right? So we learn how to stretch a buck. And, you know, I was always taught that if something still works, you know, it does what you need it to,
Yeah.
it's still good. You know, my little brother, though, he's like, you know, he's got to have a new computer every 6 or 8 months. You know, he's got to have the new electronics. He's an electronic freak, which is cool. You know, if you can afford it and you feel like you need it, that's great. But the point is, the ZI-8, the ZI-10 still get great footage. They still work fine.
Yeah.
But you're right. The iPhone is definitely making moves because they get some impressive video and some impressive audio.
Yeah, it's amazing what these little things can do.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to an iPhone. I've kind of stayed away from Apple products, not because I don't like them. I don't like getting hung up in that whole trendy thing, because once you do that, you know, once you do that, you can't stop.
Yeah, I was the same way, and then eventually I bought an iPhone, and I was like, wow, this thing's cool. And eventually I bought an iPad, then a MacBook Air. But you're right, they kind of like they suck you into their little marketing funnel, and you kind of get stuck into that little narrow space. You know, they want you to they want everything integrated.
Yeah, and once you buy one, you have to keep up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to. That's against my beliefs right there. You know, I don't want to have to keep up. What I want is what I need. You know, if it does what I need it to do efficiently, then it's good enough. But yeah, you're right. And that's the other problem with video, is that I think obviously things are changing really fast all the time, but I think video seems to be changing faster than anything else.
Yeah, and more people are starting to adopt it, especially in the past year. I've noticed so many people, you know, starting to adopt video and becoming, you know, making it a bigger part of their business, local and online marketers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we've covered a lot. We're getting up to the 45-minute mark. You want to give some last pieces of advice, and maybe give a plug to your course here for people to check it out?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Right now, the Video Slayer at thevideoslayer.com is available. We have three different price options: a full price, or a 4-pay, or 12 monthly payments. Okay. But I don't even want anybody to waste their time going there to look at it, because I set up a special page for you just for this call, because I really appreciate, you know, it was nice getting to know you, and I appreciate you having me on the call. Yeah. And you're somebody that I've been watching for like since I started. So
oh, cool.
So yeah, I mean, it's really cool to have this opportunity, and so for that reason, I wanted to set up a special page with a special price for people that do watch this video, or this recording. So normally it's $57 a month for 12 months, and then you get lifetime access. And like I said, I'm always adding and upgrading and changing. But I set up a page for you where people can get it for $27 a month. Same thing, 12 payments, and they'll get lifetime access.
Cool.
So we'll drop that link under the video, or however you want to do it.
Yeah, we'll have an audio. We'll put the link in below the video. Some people are going to be listening to this on iTunes, so I'll just put for those people who are just listening to the audio, they can go to videorevolver.com/Video Slayer. Does that sound cool?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate all the talking with you, and especially the lighting tips there. How you have them screwed to the ceiling. I'm personally going to look into doing something like that for my basement. And what's your YouTube channel where people can check out those videos?
Yeah. Oh, it's Bertram Heath Senior. Very easy.
Okay.
Actually, we can drop a link to that as well if you want, because I think it's youtube.com/Bertram T Heath.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put a link in there.
Yeah. Cool. I set it up like 40. It was one of the first things I ever did, and I used my name, so I don't remember if I had my middle initial in there or not. I think I do.
No worries.
Okay.
We'll get it all linked up.
Sounds great.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time, and have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Peter. Nice to have the opportunity to be here with you.
Yeah, no problem. If you like this video, you should visit my website and subscribe for free email updates to make sure you don't miss anything else like this that I release. Sometimes I post private videos on my website and for my email subscribers only. So go ahead and click the button right here to go to my website, enter your best email in the box, and click the subscribe button. And when I got something cool to share with you, I'll email it right to your inbox. So until next time, I'm Peter Beattie with VideoRevolver.com, and I will talk to you soon.